Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is a serious video that covers sensitive topics, so viewer discretion is strongly advised while viewing. A Minecraft YouTuber, also known as a top speedrunner by the name of Illumina, has just been recently called on some very serious allegations that include sexual assault. This all started when a person on Twitter that goes by the name Stelle made a post called Trigger Warning, Sexual Assault, Mental Health, TwitchCon Las Vegas, and I'm going to be reading this out for all of you. I want to get some stuff off my chest, since a lot of people know bits and pieces of my situation at present. I'm in Las Vegas for TwitchCon. On my second day in the country, I was sexually assaulted and taken advantage of whilst drunk. Upon revealing this, it came to my attention that the individual has taken advantage of me on numerous occasions in the past. This is a person of trust. I do not wish to say who, as I'm still processing this traumatic experience and I'm simply not comfortable with sharing. I was staying with this person, and as a result of this traumatic experience, I had to leave the hotel and find help somewhere else. As a result of this traumatic experience, I abused alcohol due to personal problems, and I became very manic. I have borderline personality disorder and lost a lot of control, and I've been having a bad episode as a response to the trauma. Caused a lot of trouble, and I hurt a lot of people. I'm deeply apologetic and embarrassed at my actions, and there are no excuses for those. I will not elaborate due to the experience. 3 of my friends were planning to visit from around the country are no longer flying back to the state, and will not be able to stay with me since we are sharing location with the abuser. I hurt some people irreparably on this holiday as a result of my actions and said things I cannot unsay. I apologize for anyone who has interacted with me over the last few days and been uncomfortable in my presence. I currently have nowhere else to stay for the last few days in Vegas, unless I stay with my abuser or impose on locals I don't know well, so I'm very afraid and anxious. I'm struggling with indescribable amounts of pain, betrayal, and heartbreak from the sexual assault. I am so devastated that my best friends are no longer visiting me here and I cannot see them after months of waiting. I'm disgusted and devastated at the damage and pain I have caused some people and friends as a result of this. I don't have a stable person of support anymore in this country, and I'm struggling very heavily. I have tried my best to have a great time, but it's very difficult, and stability isn't something I have the privilege of having right now. I'm really struggling and have a lot of uncertainties at the moment. It's very hard, and I also want to apologize for those who've been stuck in the position where I've been crying and they were uncomfortable. I'm going through so much, and I'm really sorry. I don't want to ruin anyone's holiday just because my own has been ruined. I'm so sorry. Trying to comprehend trauma and the damage I've done, as well as struggling with places to stay, has just been near impossible. The pain I feel is so immense. I know I do not have the right to ask for patience or understanding because the damage I've done is done, but if anyone is willing to spare it, I'll be so grateful. I'm genuinely terrified, and I just want to let people know why I am the way I am at the present. Thank you. Now, for my take on this is an extremely scary experience to have dealt with, and it's very hard for someone to come out public with this. But she later said in her next post that it was Illumina that was responsible for this, and that she has witnesses as well to back up her claims. As the night comes to an end and turns to morning, at around 9 AM on October 23rd, Illumina creates a post about the entire situation. It's titled, "My Statement, Please Read All 4 Screenshots." Regarding Stelle's tweet, first, a backstory. Stelle and I have been friends since early 2020 and even dated for a short while during the same year. If any of you know both me and Stelle, I'm sure you would agree that our relationship has been very rocky at times and also quite complicated. I think in retrospect it would have been best to end a relationship in 2020, as it became clear in the following years we have negatively affected both of our mental health. We had remained as friends all the way up to this trip and even met and stayed together 5 different times in real life by my count since 2021. Both of us have been living across the continents the whole time. Stelle has BPD and has dealt with pretty bad alcohol problems in the past before we met, as I understand. At Twitch conventions, she has gotten very drunk. Some have seen it at TC Vegas or TC Paris. I do not wish to get deeper into what she said or did drunk on this trip, but it's important to note that my friends could attest to the way she became unhinged when she's drunk. However, it's for the best that my friends shouldn't be involved at all. Stelle has caused things on this trip to escalate too much further than they should have. However, I will say things I need to apologize for. I know for a fact I've said things to her I shouldn't have said, and I deeply regret. The same is true for the other side. There are many things we both said that we could use against both of us. There are countless DMs over the course of the years, and it'd be very lengthy to go through all of them. For that reason, I'll not be posting or responding to any leaked DMs until I've gotten in contact with a lawyer. Like I said, this will take time, so I really hope this will be understandable to the most. However, I will admit the fact that I've been out of line multiple times and would like to deeply apologize to her and anyone else that has been indirectly harmed from what I said. I also have a sense of responsibility to have allowed her to get as drunk as she has. Even if I was was never explicitly told by her or anyone else to stop her from drinking. I knew she had alcohol problems. She even told me about her past history with it. I've seen it all myself plenty of times now. Many things could have been prevented without alcohol in the equation. For this, I would like to apologize for not being more responsible in this regard. Now, what Illumina has said so far is only half the post, but to reflect on what he said, I do agree that the relationship should have ended way earlier so things didn't escalate, even as Illumina stated that it was a very rocky relationship and that it affected them both mentally. Anyway, let's get back to the screenshots. Regarding the accusations, I'm taking these accusations very seriously, and I believe it's my best interest to seek legal advice before speaking further about the specifics. This is the last thing I want to do, but I believe it's necessary and this process will take time, so I hope you all understand. I cannot say whether it's because of her personality disorder or not. She's been very exaggerating stories many times, and I felt quite uncomfortable and terrified because of the length she has gone through to make me look as bad as possible to others. I know I'm not the only one with such experience with Stelle. There's a lot more things I could potentially say, elaborate, and so on. I'll keep it at that for now. However, I'm not opposed to making further statements later on. I would just like to let everyone know I'll be taking the situation with as much caution as I possibly can. I kindly ask everyone reading this to please be respectful to Stelle. I will say I do not like that I'm posting this on Twitter, as I do not enjoy the mob mentality that will inevitably happen towards both me and Stelle. I've talked to her very little since the tweets, but I got a sense she thinks the same way. I potentially plan on deleting this tweet when it gets to absolutely everyone who needs to see it. I know I can't prevent everything, but this is my attempt at modulating things from escalating further. Last thing I want to mention is that I'll be taking a break from content creation until hopefully the best resolution possible has occurred for the both of us. Thanks for reading. Now, as Illumina stated, I can see how it's very uncomfortable for either of them to be going deep into the situation because it's something extremely horrific and scary, as well because of legal reasons too. About 12 hours from when Illumina posted this response, Stelle made a response to his saying, "I've been always vocal about my BPD and my struggles. It's always been a goal of mine to help normalize BPD and remove the stigma. This tweet goes against everything I stand for and I'm deeply hurt and disappointed. This is why people don't speak up. I'm so sorry for anyone with BPD or any personality disorder who has been negatively impacted by my situation. My head hurts for us all. I'm not sure what I want to do. I will deal with the legalities if it comes to it, but right now I just want to enjoy my little time left on my holiday, get some therapy, and have some time to process everything. I have already had a large police incident last month as which I was scammed, which caused me to make a statement and such, and I may have to go to court for that, so another one is very scary and I don't think I can handle it. I also don't think I'll provide any public evidence, as I have live witnesses and people of trust who've seen the evidence are on my side, that I hope this is enough. I'm also afraid if I share the evidence that any of my credibility in court will be ruined. All I can say is that I'm grateful to those who believe me. I do hope that Stelle gets the therapy that she said she needed and that she enjoys the rest of her trip, as she's afraid if she gets more into the evidence, it could possibly ruin her credibility in court. Just before I conclude the video, Stelle made one final post which I'll read out loud. After the assault in Vegas, I sought refuge at a friend's house at like 5 AM. The person I'd visited brought to my attention that I was assaulted in Paris and I told him about it there when I was drunk. I remembered that happened. I brought this up with Kai and he admitted to having sex with me on multiple times in Paris, which I don't even know of, except the one time which I vaguely recalled. I have evidence of this. He took advantage of me more times than I even know of. That is terrifying. I cannot share the evidence photos due to legality reasons, but everything I say and all of the witnesses are people in me and his mutual friend group, and everyone has chosen to support me seeing my evidence, being a direct witness, which is enough for me to stop being questioned. So please. Well, this concludes everything that has been posted so far from both individuals about the situation. Now the question still stands. What should you do with all this information? Number one, please do not harass either individual, because without any solid evidence or proof from either of them, we can't just go to conclusions just immediately like that. But you are welcome to support the victim or even form your opinion. But just please don't be mean to either of those people, okay? Don't be mean to any of them. I do not control y'all's actions, but at least acknowledge what I've said. That's all for the video. Be sure to subscribe and goodbye.